there. I hope you guys are keeping yourself safe. Today, I will be talking about how long should we date or court before going into marriage. I have with me here two handsome guys, though one is a married man and the other one is a single man. So let's have fun with this. Welcome back. Please, guys, introduce yourself to the viewers.
Hi guys, my name is Joseph and I'm a married man. I stay right here in Shenyang, China.
Hello guys, my name is Ajayi Federer Samuel. I'm a student in China.
Yeah, he's a medical student in China.
And I'm a language student here in China.
Okay, as we all know, the purpose of going into dating or courtship is to get to know your partner. Now, I'm here today to talk about, to ask them about this question, that how long should a relationship last? How long should we date or court before going into marriage? I'll start with the married man. So I'll be asking Mr. AY, what do you think you can say about this topic?
Okay, thank you. First and foremost, I would like to speak from my personal experience as a married man. So I was privileged to hook up with this charming lady, and it was not so easy to getting her to accept me at first, though we were attending the same church back in Nigeria. But we really didn't know each other as such. So, but as God will have it, we started dating each other. So it took us more than 2 years before the wedding proper, before we could start the marriage proper. So it took almost like 2 years, courting and dating each other. And within this period, I had to travel down to China. So I left her back home. So you could call that a distant relationship. But all the same, it worked for us. And here we are today. We bless God for how far He had helped us.
So, how long did you guys stay together, or maybe how long did you get to know her before coming to China? Because the moment you left Nigeria, don't you think leaving Nigeria will make you to lose her then? I really wanted to buttress on that, but because you should have, probably you guys have solidify your relationship before coming to China. How assured are you, or were you then before coming to China?
Thank you very much. Well, as we all know, things happen in life. As the youth we say, life happens. So nobody is gonna plan in the next 5 years, this is where I'm gonna find myself. Fine, we have a blueprint of where we want to be, what we want to become, but as at the time I proposed to her, even though I have the intention of traveling abroad, but I never thought of coming to China as at then. So China was not in the picture. And as at that time that she accepted my proposal, I just had to tell her I had an intention of traveling abroad, so we know where we are going. It's not as though we start a relationship, then later I say I'm traveling abroad and she will not accept. So I, engaged her in my future plans, even though it was not so visible. And I know I was going to miss her because even before we started the relationship, the courtship proper, we were friends in church. She was in the protocol, I was in the choir. So after service, people see us together. So all this period, our bonding period, I might not know her perfectly, but to some extent we've been able to create an interaction between ourselves. So when we started dating, we also created time for ourselves to at least meet once a week, pray together. We go to church, just me and her together. We go to the church to have a time of prayer. Then once in a while we meet at, because we stay in the same vicinity. So we meet at some junction. Okay, by then meaning excuse me, I just spoke my my local dialect. So like, just meet me at so junction, and just to trying to know her personality and that. I knew I was not going to get all of that just within the few period I was to stay. So when the event of traveling to China came in, we had no choice. We just had to speak to ourselves. Like, do you trust me? Do I trust you? So if you go, will you come back for me? Of course, it was not easy at first, especially for her on her side. You know, the fear of and what people say all around. Like, if this man travel abroad, the girls abroad are going to take him away from you. So she was skeptical, her mother was skeptical, even her siblings. But I just have to assure them, based on my personality, my integrity, and the kind of family I'm coming from. So all this, and together with hard work on my own side and trusting God to helping us, we are where we are today.
Yeah, thank God. So, still on the same topic.
Yeah.
If you had not come to China, do you think you guys will cut for 2 years? If you are still, let's take for instance that you were in Nigeria before your wedding.
Yeah.
Do you think you will the time, the duration of your courtship will be lesser than 2 years or more than 2 years before wedding?
Well, from the look of things, because before I came to China, we did what is called introduction in Nigeria. So this introduction stuff back in Nigeria is just like my family coming to meet our family officially that this boy wants to get married to this girl in the nearest future. So the family gets to introduce themselves to themselves. So we already did this, and this was like a little knot, a little bonding between us before I traveled here. Now, had it been I had stayed back in Nigeria and we had this introduction at that time, obviously I would get married sooner than when I came to China.
Okay.
You get it? So I would have I would have wedded her sooner, because the tradition back home is that once you have your introduction done, then it shouldn't be too long from then. At most, maybe 3 months, or at most 6 months, you get wedded. So, but because I came to school here, so it took a year. My intentions were, after a year, I go back home and we can solidify the wedding plans. But life happened and I was not able to go back home after a year. So it took another extra year to make that come to reality. So.
Okay, so within the period of courtship, can you now tell us that you are in, like now that you are married, can you tell us that within that period of courtship, you get to know her better to go ahead with the marriage? Because now you guys are married, you maybe some attitudes are now coming up and you'll be like, oh, I didn't notice this when we were courting. Can you tell us maybe some attitudes she's putting out now, or maybe putting up now, they are those you are actually familiar with when you guys were courting?
Well, let me start by saying this, that let me use somebody I respect so much, is like my spiritual father, Pastor Iya Adeboye. He has been married for over 50 years now, and he will still continue to tell you that he has not known everything about his wife. That as old as the wife is, she still comes up with new traits, new characteristics and all that. So the truth of the matter is, no matter the period of time you court or date a lady or a man, you can't know all the character of this person. Even when you get wedded, you will still begin to discover new traits from this person. The essence of the courtship is just to give you a jump start into where you are going. It is not a period to discover everything about her. Of course, you will see some things, but you cannot use that. Okay, imagine, even if I had courted a lady for 10 years, say for example 10 years, and we'll get married for, let's say, 40 years. So definitely I will discover new things about her.
Yeah.
And one thing about characteristics or characters, human behavior, it is influenced by the environment, the people you move with, the society you have. So she might be exhibiting something back in Nigeria, based on Nigeria. Now we are in China. She must have definitely bring out new trait based on the. That is how human work, or let me say, sophisticated animals.
Okay.
So the environment, influence the outcome of your characteristics or your traits, what you give out as behavioral attitudes. So now back to your question. Obviously, there are some things that when we got married, I say, "Oh, I'm getting to know you better in this aspect," which maybe I didn't see. Of course, I didn't see that, especially with the fact that we had a little, distant relationship. So, and I have to learn to accommodate that too. And obviously, there are some things that she saw in me to like, I didn't see this when we were dating too. So definitely, and as we grow like that, we begin to, when children start coming in now, we begin to exhibit other traits too.
It's true.
So it's just like that.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Hayward. So I hope this will be my last question. But
I hope so.
So now my question is: Can you now tell us that 2 years is enough for courtship, or less than 2 years can still work out, or 3 or more than 2 years is expected?
Okay. I would like to, answer this question from different perspectives.
Okay.
Now, I gave my example just to be very practical about it. Now, I will give another example, who is my cousin. His name is SOJ.
Okay.
Now, SOJ courted his wife 11 years.
My God.
11 years, like 11 years.
My God.
So, you could have wondered, like, for what? What are they trying to discover?
I wonder.
You get? So, now, it worked out for SOJ like that, and they had their life like that. Mine was 2 years. I've had cases of 6 months like that. Now, this is what I want to say. Let me come from a general perspective. If, as a man, I'm talking from the angle of a man now, if, as a man, you court a lady for a period of time and you are well convinced within you that you are good to go to set the sail,
Okay.
it is he who wears the shoes that knows where it pinches.
Sure.
Nobody can force me to start a marriage if I know I'm not sure of it.
Okay.
So once you know you are good to go, that could be, I'm not saying it is absolutely right, but that could be a pointer to it's enough for the courtship, start your married life.
Okay.
That is number one. Then the second aspect is that basically, especially according to the culture of where I come from, it is being advised that anybody whom you're going to get married to, take your time to understudy the person.
Okay.
And taking your time should at least, you didn't study the person, at least you should study the person for at least a year. It could be more, but it should not be less than a year. And according to the doctrine of, I'm a Christian, and the church we attend, so according to the doctrine of the church, anybody you are dating, you should at least court the person nothing less than 6 months. So anything from 6 months, according to the doctrine of the church,
Anything less.
anything from 6 months you are good to go.
Okay.
But anything lesser than 6 months is not acceptable.
Okay.
Because human behavioral attitude and patterns, they are very dynamic. So somebody might be very gentle for a couple of 1 week, 2 weeks, and by the time it is 2 months, they begin to change.
Yeah.
So you cannot base your, judgment that that girl is a nice girl after knowing the girl for just 4 weeks and say, let's go and wed. But at least from anything from 2 months, 3 months, you can begin to discover who this person or some traits of this person.
Because as at that time you are used to each other, so
Yes.
you just bring out the normal, like the real you.
Yes.
Okay, there's no need to pretend at that point.
So basically, cutting someone in my own recommendation now, I would say it should be between 6 months and nothing more than 3 years.
Okay.
Nothing more than because of the dispensation we have now, the generation. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. The generation we have, anything more than 3 years, familiarity begins to set in, and you begin to lose focus on as to why you are in it.
Yes.
More to it that if you are youth, both the guy and the lady, you begin to dip your hands in things that you should not do. It's not about sex alone now, because when I say things that you should not do, the first thing that comes to mind is maybe they are having sex. But aside from that, maybe 3 years down the line, and obviously the guy will see another girl who is more beautiful than you, who is probably more intelligent than you.
If the guy is in the
he
world.
he might tend to change his mind.
Okay.
But when you already tied the knot, when you already tied the knot, you've committed him already, and that should not take more than 3 years to do.
Okay.
So this is my opinion.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
So you've all heard from Mr. AY, and I'm convinced. To me, I'm convinced. So now I'll be asking my brother here, as a single man.
Engaged.
Oh, engaged? Are you engaged?
By the special grace of God.
Wow, good news. My brother is engaged. Oh, that was what I heard now. Like, that's what you just said. So, as an engaged man, now, how long did it take you to engage your woman? Or how long do you think a relationship should last before leading to marriage?
From my own perspective, I can say maybe like within 24 months.
24 months, that's
Yeah,
2 years.
That's like 2 years.
Okay.
So at least before going into anything called marriage, because now we are still single. So I think we should get to know each other better.
Okay.
From family background, but each other, we should know each other better.
Okay.
So I think that's what I can say on that.
Okay. So knowing each, like 2 years. Oh yeah, 2 years. 2 years.
Yes.
And that 2 years, the period of 2 years is to know the family background.
Yes.
And what else?
Understand each other.
Try to understand each other. And what else? Is that all? Because to me, the reason I'm actually asking is like try to understand, like you can do all. To me, I believe you can do all these things within 6 months. You can do all these things within a year. And even for those people that see one woman today or one or the other, they see themselves and get married in 3 months. They can do all these things within 3 months. They can get to know the family within 3 months.
No, that's not true. I disagree.
No, this is what I'm saying. Some people are desperate. They can do. No, I'm serious. Some
for
people.
3 months. No.
I'm serious.
No.
Okay. Now I don't know if you are going to believe this. I have experienced this before, not in my family, but someone in the neighborhood got married to his wife, and they met and got married within 3 months.
And they were not friends before.
I can't, now.
Were they
I
friends
can't
before
even tell right now. They were not friends. I'm serious though. But this is let me put it this way. Maybe the reason why they had that kind of marriage or that kind of wedding was because this brother, then people were like, oh, why is he still single? Like, he's old enough to get married, maybe like late 30 or maybe early 40. I don't know his age, but as at that time, it should be around late 30 or early 40, around that range. So I think maybe the pressure was too much on him to bear. Is someone that I kind of relate to very well. So I know the range, like the time he and his wife courted before marriage. I'm telling you, it's within, like, it's the period.
And how is the marriage doing now? Do you know anything about marriage?
Right now, they are blessed with 2 kids.
It's not about children. The peace. The peace. No, guys, don't let us get it twisted.
I'm not living with them. I won't lie.
So definitely your point to me is unacceptable until you are able to verdict what is happening in their house. Are they living like the expected way a man and a woman should live in peace, in harmony? Now, let me chip in this. For example, if it took me like, let me say 6 months to learn how to play a piano, it could take Ife, let me say 3 months to do same.
Okay.
Because we are different.
Okay.
So what works for A might not work for B. But on a general note, if you go to any music trainer or piano trainer, they will tell you that for you to learn a piano, for example, I'm just paraphrasing, like maybe the standard for learning a piano is so amount of money. So everything we've given here, the opinion I'm giving is based on general level, which is accepted or acceptable for any man or anybody who wants to venture into what we are discussing about.
Okay.
But on a logical note, saying 2 people who were not friends before, they knew themselves from nowhere, not from Adam, and they came together 3 months, I can assure you they will have a lot of problems. I'm serious. From experience, from personal experience, from experience of my father's, even my own biological father, that maybe he had enough time to date mom, but yet you can still tell of the fierceness of trouble that comes in the house. Not to talk less of somebody you just met 3 months, because he or she could have just camouflaged, pretended for those 3 months, and you went to the altar. Then you see the true color of this person, and by that time it's too late. There is nothing you can do.
Okay, thank you very much. So I agree with you. So I just have to say that because it's true. I'm actually not lying. It's true. I'm telling you the truth. It is what I know. It is
not disputing. It's an event that happened.
It's
an event of life, but it doesn't mean it is right.
Okay.
Because it happened doesn't mean it is the right standard.
Okay.
For us to go by.
Okay. So I think we've said enough. Or is there any other thing you want to say?
Well, on a final note, this is just like an advice from me. I know I'm a very young guy. We have people who have been married for years and they can tell you more. But the event of, marrying, going into marriage, it's a very complicated and complex topic that nobody has to take with levity.
Okay.
For example, for you to be acceptable in the society, to be able to work, say for example as an engineer, as a doctor, or whatever profession, do you know how long it takes? You start from your kindergarten, primary school, secondary school, high school, college, university. You do master's, PhD, all because you want to become a good engineer. So, and marriage is very complex than all these things I just mentioned. So you can't tell me that you just go through courtship, which is part of the department of marriage. Okay. You just go through it 3 months and you say you are done and dusted. I can assure you that person will find a very big, troubled water awaiting. Even people who took time to court as the normal standard requires, they still have challenges. Talk less of somebody who just did the peripheral stuff. So I'll just advise and admonish anyone who wants to go to marriage, please, by all recommendations, be it doctrinal, biblical, or religious, or societal, or social, or customary, let it be at least 6 months to 3 years.
Okay.
6 months to 3 years. by so doing, it's not as if you're gonna know everything about your partner, but it will just give you an insight to where you're going and how to manage what is to come. So let us endeavor to make it within this bracket. And I must tell you personally, I'm not gonna, encourage anything more than 3 years, because to me, once it's getting over 3 years, whatsoever sets in, so it's gonna lose its value. Every stage of, like I mentioned in the educational system, every stage of educational system has a number of years you should go through them. Primary school, secondary school, high school, and all that. So if you exceed those amount of years, people begin to mock you, or you become a stigma.
Okay.
So I hope you can ease to my encouragement and advice.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you guys. I so much appreciate you guys for being with this audience. I so much appreciate. Thank you, Mr. AY, and thank you, Dr. Ifedayo, the engaged man. So, guys, thank you for watching. And if you have any opinion, or maybe you have advice, or you just have anything to say prior to this, please put it in the comments section. Then don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm bringing more videos. Just be ready for it. Thank you so much, and thanks for watching once again. Bye bye.
Hasta mañana.
Please stay safe out there. Stay safe. Stay safe.